Are you searching for the best you inside? Not sure why you keep running into walls that just can't get past that one thing? This might help you. Let's talk with a hypnotist.
Building spirituality, family, health, and business. This is The Giant Builders with Lois Wyant.
Hey, Giant Builders, welcome back. It's an exciting day here at the Giant Builders. So we have our guest. This is Lauren Best. Hi, Lauren. How are you?
Hi, I'm great. Thank you. I'm so excited to be chatting with you today.
Oh, I'm glad to have you. It's so exciting. Well, can you tell our listeners what you do?
Yeah, so that's a great question because it's always kind of changing. But in these last few years, I have transformed and reinvented myself from a product and furniture designer to a service designer where I was designing businesses and services, to now a certified hypnotherapist where I am using my passion for design in a different way by helping people really design their lives, and new ways of working and new ways of doing things so that they really truly are exploring, new possibilities for their life. So I do that mainly through hypnosis as well as coaching and even working with solopreneurs or with creative entrepreneurs or conscious companies to really provoke possibility, to ask the right questions that will guide them to a place of self-discovery and unlocking new potential within their lives, within their businesses, the way they show up with their superpowers. So it's an ever creative journey of even exploring what it is that I do to be able to support other people as well.
Well, that is really exciting. So you don't hypnotize people where they make chicken sounds when they hear the
No.
doorbell, do you?
No, I'm glad you brought it up right away because that is such a common question. Like it truly is, because we've seen that on TV, we've seen that on stages. And although stage hypnosis is a very real thing, I can just reassure everyone that unless you've always wanted to be a chicken, which I have met a woman who loved chickens, she had her own chicken farm, and I thought, okay, if she gave me the consent to ask her in hypnosis to balk like a chicken, she probably might, but not anyone would do that. It's definitely one of those things with hypnosis. Not only is it my, ethical responsibility to guide people in the way that they're looking to be guided, but also knowing that the hypnotherapist or anyone really can't make you do anything that you wouldn't already do outside of hypnosis, because we do, even though we're connected to your subconscious mind and surpassing that critical mind, our beliefs are so deeply embedded within our subconscious mind. So if you don't believe you're a chicken, like you're not going to be a chicken or turn into a chicken. So that's a great place to start off with. But even to share with stage hypnosis, it's something where people hear hypnosis sometimes and might have some fears around that in terms of, will you make me do something I don't want to do? Or will you make me let go of everything? Or will I tell you something that I don't actually want to share with anyone? And the truth is, it gets to be your experience. Anything someone might come to me and say, I'm ready to let go of this. And it's still my job in a private session to say, hey, are you ready? And if they're not, they're not. And that's absolutely okay. It gets to be your journey. But on stage, when we've seen on any of those big TV shows, what they actually do is they don't pick just anyone out of the crowd. There's this suggestibility testing that they go through to find people who are very highly suggestible. So everyone responds to suggestions in different ways. So these individuals are unique and they really are highly suggestible to different suggestions. And so they leverage that, and it can be a fun experience to watch, but it's not necessarily the reality of what everyone would experience under hypnosis as well. So great question to lead with.
I thought so.
Yeah.
Explain to me how you combine your designing knowledge with your hypnotism.
Yeah, I think, design, and what I learned as a young designer was, our job was not only to make things beautiful, but to solve a problem and to really use your critical mind to question everything and ask why. And where hypnosis is very different, it's almost the opposite of that, is not necessarily needing to know why, but just sometimes having that, deep, like reconnecting that deep connection to your intuition or to your self-trust or your confidence. So that's where it's really different. But where it's very similar is that it's, hypnosis is a guided experience that allows someone to visualize things and design their beliefs and redesign their reality. So although it might not be in physical form, like designing a chair or something you experience in your current reality, like visiting a restaurant and what that experience is designed to offer to you, designing within your mind, through hypnosis is just really this way where you can have a look and say, these beliefs that I've been carrying with me that I actually don't want to believe in anymore because like they're not my beliefs, they're stories that someone else has told me, or they're things that are really limiting me from truly living my version of success in my life. Hypnosis has that ability for us to surpass that critical mind and go into the subconscious mind and allow you to visualize different things, whether it's me guiding you through a beautiful, garden landscape, or whether it's you within your own mind visualizing different ways of doing things. It's also different, and people visualize very differently. I know personally, I'm not a very vivid, like I don't have a very vivid visualization sense in hypnosis. For me, I get a lot of strong feelings. And then I have clients who are like seeing some amazing things, and I'm like, oh my gosh, like I don't visualize that. But they're like, oh my gosh, I'm at a beach or I'm at a sandwich shop. I don't know why, but like we get to design our own realities, and hypnosis can be such a cool tool for doing that, whether it's visually or physically or feelings wise. And there's just so many possibilities. It's really cool.
Well, I've heard of people using hypnotism to like stop smoking or
Yeah.
lose weight. Give me something more. I'm not sure what word I'm looking for. So if I don't have one of those like
Right.
habits, what else can I use hypnotism to do for myself?
Yeah. So hypnosis can definitely be used to break a habit and build new habits and redesign your habits and create rituals. And, my work specifically, I work with a number of different people, but I don't necessarily specialize in or helping people quit smoking or lose weight or whatever it is. But for me, I really see it as such a great self-development tool for really like unlocking this potential in your mind for you to be able to, take courageous action, whether you're a business owner and for me, that's why I found hypnosis. I, had been working for design companies, and in the pandemic, I found myself back in Canada. I'd been living overseas for a number of years. I ended up back in Canada with no idea of what I was going to do next. And I thought, okay, I've been so burnt out with my work and working for someone else. This can be my chance. Because I also went to business school. This is my first kind of degree out of college or in college. And so I thought, okay, this is my chance to start my business. I've designed businesses for so many other people, their services for, startups, for government organizations, for small, medium enterprises. And so I thought, okay, this is my turn. I'm going to design my own business so that I can live a life I love. And it was like block after block after block of me just spinning in circles. And I thought, what's going on here? I can design a perfect strategy. I've done it. And I can design, a strategy and test it out and improve it and, see it as this iterative process to get to the right strategy. What's going on here for me? So I knew right away, like all this burnout, all these stories that I had in my mind from other people, putting limiting beliefs in my mind saying, you're not good at this. Or for me, a big one was being able to talk about my business or share was from this belief I had in, I don't know how, any belief from the age of 7, essentially, that is a limiting belief is often something that like someone else has said to you, right? So I had this belief growing up that my voice was really annoying and that I, shouldn't talk so much. So when I came to talk about my business or start asking people questions on my own, it was like I just couldn't do it. So I ended up finding a hypnotherapist and I've worked with her for years now. And I was starting my coaching business. I didn't really want to consult anymore. So I was like, I want to coach people. I want to ask people the right questions. I know that's a superpower of mine. And I was really, really struggling, even with this on paper perfect strategy. So I started working with her, and she also, her name's Mahesha Gunner, and she has a company called Life So Blissful. And she also has an academy for training hypnotherapists. So she asked me, like, look, do you want to do this? And I thought, I was still in this process of regulating my nervous system because, of not only the pandemic, but having to relocate in the middle of a pandemic, having to move back in with my parents, and like not having a job, and all these different new identity crises I was having. So, I was like, okay, even though I was still really unsure of like, am I meant to do this? And there's this big pressure on myself to find my purpose at this point as well. So it was like, is this my purpose? Okay, at least it's just another tool that I can use to help people find their purpose if I can't find mine. I don't know. So I just trusted in whatever little glimpse of hope that I had for whatever reason, my intuition, I guess, that I had also lost along the way through a lot of those experiences that I had. And so I decided to be certified. And through that process, and not only doing hypnosis with like personally, but through that learning and building that trust back within myself and building up my confidence and having that confidence to speak and realize my voice is my superpower. It's not my weakness. And just like what I was able to reclaim is I can't imagine where I would be without, finding hypnosis. Like it just totally changed my life. It was like that missing puzzle piece. So things that I've seen with my clients as well, a lot of them who are very high achievers, getting to a place of, not burning themselves out, but trusting what they're doing is good enough, what they're doing to keep the ball rolling, and using their intuition to take action rather than acting out of fear. This is even one that I am just letting go of now. I thought I had released so much fear around, talking about my business and putting myself out there. But I even realized this new year, I was like, oh my gosh, I'm taking a lot of action out of fear still. I'm not taking action out of love and intention and my intuition. And so I had to look at that. But it really has also, like, it gives people those tools to check within themselves and know these answers are inside yourself. Let's let go of all the stories that other people have put into your head. Let's find out what you want. And when you don't know, a big thing for me as well was, and I see this with a lot of my clients as well, is this fear of uncertainty. And, with high achievers or people pleasers or perfectionists, it really is, this experience of, wanting to know all the answers, or this design mindset of, ask the right questions and problem solve and always have to have an outcome. But what hypnosis, I think, really does, and, connecting to your subconscious mind, is you get to trust yourself. You go through this experience of finding excitement in uncertainty and the unknown. And now I can see it as, okay, I don't know what's going to happen next, but what I do know, it's going to be exactly what I need, or something even better than what I already imagined. Because when we open our mind to exploring new possibilities, when we have an understanding of, or when we focus on, this is what I want, this is where I'm going, we can limit ourselves without even really realizing why or how. But just having that openness to things that we hadn't even imagined happening for ourselves, that can open big doors. That can, allow us to unlock new levels within our minds and within our lives, and just invite in so much more self-love and self-trust. So to put it simply, those are some things, I've personally gone through, and some things that I know I see a lot in some of my clients as well.
Okay, just to validate, you don't have an annoying voice. You have a
Thank
very
you.
lovely voice. Yeah.
Thank you so much. That is so kind. I appreciate that.
So when you hypnotize somebody, do they know what's going on?
Yeah, definitely. So, as the hypnotherapist, it's your job to, take this individual. And I also do group sessions as well. So that is a bit different. When I'm working with an individual, it is so very customized to what it is that we like talked about before and even during. Like there's conversations that we have during the process. And then in group sessions as well, what I typically do is like to check in with everyone and see like what's going on in their world. People's actual words that they share with me are so powerful, right? So if I can, find out the feeling that someone wants to have at the end of the session and use that affirmation during our session, like that's not me telling them what they should feel. It's like their desire, right? So we go through this process. Typically, when I work with new clients one-on-one, we'll do a suggestibility test, which isn't a pass or fail test, but it's basically a test to see how they would respond to certain types of suggestions. So there's different types of suggestions that we would guide someone through in order to relax not only their mind, but their bodies to also get into that state of physical relaxation before we go into that state of mental relaxation. So really getting to that place where they can relax, they can trust themselves and, get to a place where we can access the subconscious mind and surpass that critical mind. And then every session's different. Some sessions, it's like looking back and exploring, what are some of these limiting beliefs? Why are they there? Are you ready to let go of them? Do you want to think them? What do you want to do with them? And then reprogramming beautiful new affirmations that really allow them to design that new reality that they want to live in. Other sessions are going through a beautiful visualization where they're able to embody a lot of the feelings that they want to have. And, the subconscious mind doesn't know whether or not you're experiencing it in reality or not, or whether it's just in your mind. So that's why daydreaming is so, so powerful to really reprogram our subconscious minds. But, some people, we might be having a whole conversation like, what is it that you see? Or how is it that you feel? And being able to kind of get that feedback from them of what they're experiencing can allow me to guide them where they're at and really bring them through that experience. And other times it's like sit back, relax, and you'll just wake up feeling like you had an amazing nap. However, you weren't asleep. So, every experience can be so, so different. And that's what I love about hypnosis is that for each individual, for each person, from session to session, things can change so much, and there's so much to explore within our minds.
Okay, so how long is a session? And is there a requirement or a range? Is like how many sessions people normally need?
No. So I personally like love working with people. If we're doing one-on-one, I mean, there's no rules, right?
Okay.
So, but it is proven that 6 sessions of hypnosis are statistically like way more impactful than different types of like talk therapy. So that's really cool that now there's a lot more studies and science behind hypnosis and the change that and the impact it can make for people. But personally, I love to work with clients one-on-one, whether it's, 1 hour session starting, for 6 sessions. So we might do every second week for an hour, just giving people that time and space to really integrate things between each session. I have some clients that come to me for intensive. So if they have one session that, or one topic or theme or focus area in their lives that they're like, I'm really ready to let this go. I want to see results quick. We do a 3-hour intensive session. And then there's some people that I work with. So I also go into, different companies. So say if someone is a coach and they have their own community of people that they're teaching, or if someone is, or if there's like a small business or even large business, I might go in and do group sessions for their teams and really kind of getting, what is happening on the ground level, what's actually happening here, and what is it that you're ready to experience and let go of. So it can all look very, very different. And another great thing I love about hypnosis that I offer to my one-on-one clients and some of these like corporate clients as well are custom hypnosis audio tracks. So those are really cool because through repetition, listening to a hypnosis audio before you go to bed and as you drift off to sleep will allow your mind to still reprogram all of those amazing affirmations into your mind. So it can be really customized. And then, other times it's like, what is the group here needing and what kind of support can I offer without getting too specific? It still works. Of course, the healing work is what happens when we work one-on-one, and that is like so different every time. So that also works my own creative brain to like come up with new ideas and just help people unlock these different levels to their minds as well.
Wow. Okay, I don't have a question. Where should we go now?
I think, one thing I would like to share with people, for anyone who hasn't tried hypnosis before, there can be a fear, and I see this happen. I don't know if I mentioned this already, but just to even remind people that, hypnosis can be seen as scary, or some people are afraid of saying things or letting go, or, not necessarily, just having that guard up of like, what are you going to find out about me, or this or that. And,
Okay.
it is your experience to have. It's not my job to like go in there and, get all your secrets kind of thing. It's really your experience. And it's my job and any hypnotherapist's job to really allow you to find that safety within yourself and know that we are here to make you feel safe. And you don't have to, let go of anything that you're not ready to. It really is your experience to guide, and we're just guiding you through what it is that you're ready for. So some people, might, and another thing is some people might have a whole list of things they're ready to work through. And it's like, okay, this session, I want to start with this thing. And in reality, some of these things are so connected and they just don't know it yet. So sometimes we'll focus on one thing and it actually allows them to let go or work on these two other things. I know weight loss was something that you mentioned. And like I said, it's not something that is my specialty or my focus of what I like to do with clients in terms of the transformation that I'm wanting to get, like, allow people to experience. But sometimes that can be, something that, like a certain eating habit can be something that we formed based on an event or an experience that they've had that, if they're ready to let go of that, we can change what that other thing is. So it can be so linked without them even knowing it. And, there's so much potential to just allow new possibilities for your life to not only design them, but just open those floodgates of like anything is possible. And yeah, it's so fun. It's so cool.
Is there a common issue, concern that you find come up a lot?
I think with a lot of, yes, I mean, there's heaps of them. But definitely this, I guess it's an overarching theme of what people think they should be doing in order to have a successful life. And I think, there's so many things that we zoom in on, but this overarching thing I think comes back to, and even for me, like, what is your actual version of success and how can we erase the rest? How can we get back to you and allow you to use your strengths, operate to your desires to really embody your unique version of success? So for a lot of people, it might be this hustle mentality of having to work really, really hard to be successful. But why can't things be easy? Why can't you embody your amazing superpowers and your zone of genius and work in a way that honors your energy, that work in a way where you feel purposeful, where you feel like you're not having to hustle hard to be successful, where you get to have a work-life balance, and where perhaps things going on in your everyday life aren't affecting your ability. Sometimes we can put energy, like there's this inequity of where we spend our energy within our relationships, within our work, within ourselves. And I think a lot of that as well is coming back to self-worth and unlocking, like, okay, you are worthy of rest. You are worthy of self-care. You are worthy of taking time just for yourself to do the things that you love. You don't have to be, a parent all of the time. You don't have to be the best employee all of the time. You can just be you, and you can take up space for just you. And I think that's something that a lot of people forget about. I know I forgot about that for a while. It was like work, life. And it was like, what about me actually? What is it that I need to feel good and feel happy and feel nourished so that I can show up in these different parts of my life that are just parts of my life. They're not the whole picture of my life. So, I mean, there's so many different little pockets within all of those areas as well.
No, that's wonderful. Well, giant builders, you are worthy and you have the right to be you. So let's do that.
I love that.
Any closing thoughts?
I think any closing thoughts for anyone who is perhaps uncertain of, well, maybe I'm not good at visualizing, or I'm not, I don't know where I want to go next. Just a reminder, like, you don't have to have all these answers. Just romanticizing your own life and where you're at, even if it's not where you want to go, or you don't know how to get to where you want to go. The more we can, romanticize our lives, whether it's daydreaming about our lives or noticing like really beautiful moments or happy moments in our interactions or nature, whatever it may be, even writing about our lives, journaling, all these things are ways to reprogram the subconscious mind. And they're so powerful. Our thoughts are so powerful, but what we and how we see the world can really have such a ripple effect. So even if seeing a hypnotherapist isn't accessible to you, even on you, I don't have it up yet, but maybe whenever this is airing, I'll have a bunch of YouTube videos. I'm on Insight Timer with hypnosis audio tracks as well. So there's different ways that you can also, have access to that. And audio that I would love to share with everyone, which is free for them to download, is on my website, which is lauren-best.com. And there's a free hypnosis audio called Dreaming During Uncertainty, Visualize a Life You Love. So it'll just help you to begin visualizing about your life and what are the new possibilities for how you can feel like the most powerful version of yourself. So I definitely recommend to check that out.
Well, I'm going to check that out for
Yeah.
sure. Yeah, I'm going to check that out. All right. Lauren, that's so wonderful. And you do have a voice that would just very soothingly make me feel better. So
Thank you. That's so sweet.
well, giant builders, I think this is wonderful. If you know of somebody that maybe is unsure of where they want to be or holding themselves back, make sure to share this episode with them. I think this would be something really good. And do check out. We'll have the link below for the website so you can get that free audio. So, Lauren, thank you so much. It was wonderful information. I appreciate your time.
Thank you. You too. Thank you so much.
All right, giant builders. See you next week.
Thank you for listening. This has been The Giant Builders with Lois Wyant.